Welcome to the movies, pal. Your friendly neighborhood Master Chaos back with another review. Tonight's movie is a doozy. It's a little bit outside the box. It's our first horror comedy. But fear not, I've got plenty of glue sticks and chapsticks, so apply liberally as we discuss. Tonight's movie was just released by the fine folks at Vinegar Syndrome. I hold in my hand the special edition slipcover. It's a lovely, lovely slipcover. Let me show you the back, by the way. It just says the name and a little lightning strike, nice and eerie. Does this movie warrant this really exquisite slipcover? To really understand the tone of this film, we have to watch the opening kill. It not only sets the plot in motion, it basically demonstrates what kind of a movie we're in store for.
Stand back, please. Falling on us. Bring that stretcher over here. Bring it over. Please.
I don't know who could have possibly done such a thing.
This must be the act of a maniac.
Either that or a very large chef.
Something they don't tell you is that cheerleaders were a part of some kind of cheerleading camp, and 20 years later, that blonde girl who was standing next to the hysterical girl decides to reopen the camp and, I guess, wash away the stigma that the cheerleading camp has.
So, you're the one starting in the cheerleading camp. Again, eh?
That's right.
Excuse me for saying this, but you must be very stupid. Because the cheerleading camp has been ruled by death since 1963, when those cheerleaders were skewered to death. And then in 69, when their feet... You mustn't stay here.
I know every cheerleading camp he has ended in death. But I've put all my life savings into this camp, as well as my time, energy, and all-American cheerleading spirit. I'm going to make this camp a success. I'm sure. I was turned down to be a cheerleader in 63, but I was good. I was the best. But they had their own little cliques, and only their friends could join. So I had to transfer over to Embraceable You, where I was captain for 4 years. But now, I'll show them. They'll see what I can do. And I don't want you scaring my cheerleaders away with those stories.
Can't we tell them the one about the mass murderer who escaped from the prison?
No.
Can we tell them about the psychopath who escaped from asylum?
No.
What about the waitress and the donkey?
Well, only if they're good.
By now, you should understand what kind of movie this is. It is a horror comedy, but the comedy is a little bit lame, I'll be honest. I'm going to be completely honest. The movie is very lame. However, it tries to make you laugh, and honestly, it's a charming movie overall. I have more to show you, but I just want to get that sort of on the books in terms of the appreciation of this movie, and how a review for this movie is quite difficult because it is a comedy. It is supposed to be stupid on purpose, and to be honest, this movie is really, really stupid. But ultimately, that's the point, I think. Anyway, let's meet the cheerleading students that are going to be taking part in this exclusive and dangerous cheerleading camp.
Andy!
Candy! I'm a sweet with truck drivers that get crabs, and I'm gonna finally get to use my diaphragm!
Sandy, Nancy may do it for jelly beans, but I don't.
Randy. I hope you're watching, Miss Dirty K.
Randy, there's a picture of Lindy Marcus. Oh. Glenn Dandy.
The film boasts an all-star cast, which is kind of shocking to me. Of course, at the time, they weren't big names. Judge Reinhold, this was made in 1982, the year that he made Fast Times at Ridgemont High, so he wasn't really Mr. Big Time, well, as big as he got while making this film. Of course, Carol Kane wasn't as big, and if you notice in the beginning, the first clip I showed you of the opening kill, Mr. Phil Hartman has a cameo. Of course, he wasn't the Phil Hartman at the time, so he really just was a glorified extra with a couple of lines. I should also mention, I'm not going to show it here because I feel that's sort of an Easter egg when you watch the movie, but Carol Kane has Carrie-like powers, and they've decided to show off those Carrie-like powers by giving her Superman laser eyes. Now, funny enough, who's in this cast? Mark McClure. Who's Mark McClure? Well, he's Jimmy Olsen in the Superman movies. Another pair of celebrities actually work together. Tom Smothers from the Smothers Brothers and our very own Pee Wee Herman. Of course, I call him our very own because I feel like our community has adopted Pee Wee as one of our patron saints. Tom Smothers plays the town's would-be sheriff, and Pee Wee, or I should say Paul Reubens at this point, plays, I guess, his assistant, his deputy. It's very unclear. Let me just show you one of their early scenes together.
Driddle. Driddle? Change your name.
It's now Johnson, sir.
Johnson?
Johnson! I do everything around here. The cooking, the cleaning. What does Bob do?
The washing and the ironing.
Big deal.
Get the warden on the phone for me, will you, please?
Now, his phone calls too. What's the matter with him?
Break a hoop or something,
I think the quality of humor starts to become very clear after watching that sequence. They're very funny together. However, I feel the dialogue does let them down a little bit. It's not very nuanced. There are some really good puns here and there, but overall, it's very cringy, to be honest. This film is a slasher movie, so I feel we should probably get to the slashing. Of course, it takes almost 50 minutes before anybody is killed, and keep in mind it is a horror comedy, so the kills aren't necessarily going to be the type of kills we expect from, say, a Friday the 13th movie, or, I don't know, even, say, a April Fool's Day or something like that. As a matter of fact, let me show you the first kill. It's a little bit of a spoiler, but I think it's not only is it probably the best kill in the movie, but it's also quite funny. So I think you'll enjoy this clip, and, well, I'm not going to say anymore. I'm going to play it, and then you let me know what you think about the first kill in Pandemonium.
Welcome to Air Tokyo Flight 45. We hope that you enjoy your flight. Right now, Stewardess Godzilla is serving your favorite beverage.
Wake up!
For only $1.
Stewardess, my coffee is cold.
If that scene made you laugh, then Pandemonium is the movie for you. If it made you cringe, then I would say probably skip this one. I'm going to give this film 3 stars. I will say I really loved it. I really enjoyed the film. I really appreciated what they were trying to do. I'm a big horror comedy fan, so I really did appreciate the film. However, the jokes were very lame, almost cringy, and they have 10,000 jokes a minute, and maybe 2 or 3 of those are really good. I think I maybe laughed out loud 4 times, and that's not great odds when you're making a horror comedy and you want the audience to be laughing. Now, when I say horror comedy, it's very light on the horror. As a matter of fact, there's really nothing. I don't think this is a movie that would scare anybody. I feel like Scary Movie or any of the scary movies were probably scarier. Does that make it a bad movie? No, not necessarily. Should you watch it? You tell me. If these clips made you laugh, then, like I said, it's for you. I will say there is something to be said about Vinegar Syndrome's deceptive packaging. This cover, it does not accurately represent the film we just watched. Or I should say I watched and you watched clips of. Yes, everything on this cover happens in the movie, but I feel this cover makes it look like a far creepier and intense movie than it really is. Honestly, you look at this cover, you can't tell. This is almost a Naked Gun type parody. And if you're interested in the special features, the only thing on here is an interview with the director. It is very, very light on supplementals. Yes, the slipcover is really nice, and it's very thick, and it's very glossy, and it's embossed, and it's high quality. It's a little bit more high quality than the film, unfortunately, and I feel that's true for a lot of Vinegar Syndrome releases. Do I regret buying it? No, I don't. I really enjoyed this movie. Overall, I'm happy I have it in my collection. I think it, again, looks really good on a shelf, so I'm happy about that from a collector's perspective. Will I ever rewatch it? That's hard to tell. Right now, I don't think I'm going to be rewatching it anytime soon, maybe not for another 5 years, who knows? But then again, I don't really rewatch a lot of stuff because there's so much out there, like Pandemonium, that I haven't seen that I need to track down and watch. Well, my friend, that's it for tonight's review. That has been Pandemonium, and I have been your friendly neighborhood Master Chaos. I hope you're doing well. I hope you enjoyed this review. Let me know in the comments if you're getting Pandemonium, if you've seen Pandemonium, or if you've decided to avoid Pandemonium. The theater's about to close. I've got to wipe up all this glue and chapstick that everyone's left on the ground. So until we meet again, my friend, I wish you a very pleasant evening, wherever you are.